a model railroader quite seriously the past few years. But for over almost, we're going on almost 39 years. So yeah, some people ask me, "Are you a professional?" Blah 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 blah. I'm like, I don't label myself as a professional railroader. I consider myself a seasoned veteran in the hobby. And what that means is that I have a lot of experience trying different things, techniques, methods, different medias, wood, metal, plastic, cardboard, you name it. I've tried it. And I can give you insights as to what works, what doesn't work, most importantly, what doesn't work. Because I've tried pretty much everything. I am fairly new to the DCC thing, so I'm not any expert by no means. There are far better model railroaders out there that have way more DCC experience than I do. But I can answer some basic questions. If you have any questions, feel free to throw them my way, and I will do my best. Hey, Charles, how are you? CHBR611, how are you, Charles? Haven't seen you in a while. So how you, BH? Thanks for the heart me. Thanks for the heart me squatch. Appreciate that. Happy Friday. That's right. Thanks for the follow, Rob. Thanks for sharing, Bill. So, Dave, how you, Dave? That's funny. Davis is saying hi to Dave. Dave and Dave. Dave and Dave were walking down the street. Dave fell in a hole. Who was left? Dave. Of course, no, Dave's not here. I'm going to see Dave tomorrow. That's kind of dumb and funny at the same time. Time for the disco at the Crisco with good old Nancy Jones. She's not baking today, but she's baking something else, but it's not food, if you know what I mean. Nancy. Nancy's always a good sport. She's great for some laughs. She's great for cracking the whip, of course. So she comes down on me kind of hard sometimes, but it's all in good fun. And I take it well. I take constructive criticism very well. That's just part of the artistic nature in me. If somebody were to say, well, this doesn't look right, and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, okay, fine. I'm not going to get all mad and boo-hoo and, hissy fit about nothing. I'm just going to say, okay, duly noted. Have fun. I hope you enjoy my railroad. Some of my stuff might not be for everybody. If that's the case, hey, great. Thanks for stopping by. However, if you like what you see, be sure to possibly like, and if you like that, maybe share it, maybe follow it, have fun, join the family, and come back and enjoy the different shows that I give every now and then. It's just a lot of fun doing model trains, and it's a huge enjoyment for me. It's very satisfying, and like I said, by no means this is not. I do not make money doing this. This is not my job. So please do not feel obligated to send me anything. That's not why I'm here. I'm just here to have fun and enjoy and encourage and inspire. And so enough of that gooey show of emotions. Let's play with some damn trains. I'm going to check some messages, okay? Nancy says she's baking her brain. Oh my gosh, Nancy. Yep. Your potato is getting a little warm. Know what I'm saying? Is it mashed, baked, boiled, or fried tonight? Oh, that's good stuff, Nancy. Wow, he does have a heart. If I only had a heart. Da 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 da. We're off to see the wizard. Wait a minute, I am the wizard. Off. I'll show him who's the king of the forest. If I were the king. Stuff a mattress with me. Bah. Beehive. Bah. I think I could recite that entire movie. I've seen it so many times. It's one of my favorites, actually. Yes. I know we're not in Kansas anymore. Nice, man. Thanks, El Patron. I appreciate that very much. Trying to stay under budget with train stuff is impossible. Oh, I know, Nancy. Yes, that's a good pin to put up there. Maybe we can talk about that. No, go ahead and pin it back up there. Yeah, put it back up there. Let's talk about it for a second, Nancy. Yeah, definitely. Put it back up there. So, yes, this is a good point. Nancy Jones is pinned up there. Trying to stay under budget with train stuff. It is not impossible. Let me demonstrate, okay? This engine actually is a good example. This was on the used market. It's a DCC. It's from a reputable company. I'm not going to say any names, okay? It came fully loaded with a DCC chip and sound. There was couplers on it. I didn't do anything to this engine except pop open the hood. There was one loose wire in there to the sound unit, okay? Now, this engine, it's not cheap normally, but it was on the used market, and I paid, does anybody know how much, oh gosh, it's hard to say that number. I'm not going to say any numbers, but there is a 2 in there and then a 5, okay? So put those two numbers together, and that's what I paid for this. Seriously. Yeah, it was on the used market, and I hope I don't get dinged for that. I'm trying to talk in code, and but yes, that is what I paid for that locomotive, okay? So what I'm trying to get at is there's things that you can do to keep yourself within a decent budget. I do a lot of scratch building and kit bashing. Thanks, Sanford Fuss. I appreciate that very much. You're looking at a kit bashed bridge there. You're looking at a scratch built bridge right there using just balsa wood and basswood and cardboard box. My rock work is just busted up pieces of styrofoam, ceiling tiles, wall spackling, mud, whatever you can think of, it's probably in there. Yeah, real dirt, okay? So, I use what's available to me. I get a lot of things for free or at a very, very heavy discount. So, yeah, it's not impossible to stay within a budget. Here's another example. This drawbridge right here. Let me grab my pointer. Check this out. This drawbridge is scratch built using cardstock, index card paper, balsa wood, a little bit of basswood, and some plastic pieces. I embossed all my rivets onto index card stock, okay, with a ballpoint pen, and that's how I made those rivets. So, it's not difficult, okay? Let's talk cost of rolling stock. Well, here we go again. If you're in the used market, I've seen boxcars, tanker cars, as little as $1, $2, $3 at recent, get 'em, Coop, recent train shows, okay? And that's not unreasonable, and a lot of those are the good vintage blue box kits, and some of them are already built with couplers, knuckle-style couplers, okay? We don't need to mention brands, but however, I've seen them under this, okay? We're talking that right there. Yeah, exactly, John, okay? Denver don't have that in N scale. You know what, Nancy? There's a lot of shows. There's that list that I know Craig owns. There's also that book. There's a market out there, and it's a place full of books and faces. There's all sorts of avenues. Okay, Davis, we'll see you in a minute. So you have to be creative. You have to look, okay, if you're in the used market, okay? You don't have to purchase everything brand new, okay? And I'm here as true testament of that. This bridge here was El Cheapo Inexpensivo. This mega expensive looking hotel structure was all created out of an inexpensive kit. I cut the kit in half. It was a 2-story kit. I turned it into a 4-story kit. I put false walls on the back and the side. I used strips of leftover pieces from another kit. I made awnings out of paper stock. All of this, this entire fire escape is scratch built out of the scrap box. I added another layer out of the scrap box. I 3D printed the bottom half of this water tower, and this is just a toilet paper tube, from work. And it was free. Okay, used brass. Okay, Puck. Yeah, that's awesome. Hi, Lily. Thanks for the rose. That's you know how classy that was? A Lily sending a rose. That was so classy. That's awesome. Thanks, Lily. I appreciate that. Noah, thank you so much for the love you so much. Hey, Alien. How are you? Good to see you, my friend. Alien Destinations is my mentor when it comes to my my sculpting program on my my laptop, and he's been such a big help. I can't wait to show off some of the things. You know what? Check this out, Alien. I have one sitting here right in front of me. Look at this. This is one of my pieces right here. I used some basic shapes, created like tires and barrels and dents, and it turned out really good. This is just a junk pile. Check this out. Hi, Noah. How are you? Thanks for the populars. I appreciate that. Yeah, thanks, Alien. I appreciate that. There are some pieces on here that I grabbed for for free and added them in. I made this crushed toolbox. That's all scratch. This gear right here, that's scratch. It's just cool stuff. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, 3D printing is just a game changer when it comes to model railroading. That is for sure. So yeah, I've made so many cool things. 3D printing is just unbelievable. The sky's the limit. Like I made that water tower there. That was on a filament printer. Same with many of the other water towers that you see all around. I make barrels and boxes and crates and luggage. Have I done any box car yet? No. My brother has done flat cars, but he's still refining it because they warped. And it's because he did them in resin. He's going to retry again in filament. So check this out, though. I didn't make them, but I have printed motorcycles. Look at those. These things are just little jewels. I call them my little bugs. I call them because they're just so tiny. So I did those two right there in 3D printing in resin. So yeah, I do a lot of 3D print resin and filament prints. It's a lot of fun. It's a total game changer when it comes to model railroading. Please don't ask about brands or costs or anything like that. I don't want to get a violation or any kind of kick in the pants. Yeah, it's really cool. You want to do a bike. So I'm telling you, with the program that you use, I don't want to say it. You're so awesome with the things that you make. You could easily create that. You've been thinking about getting into S scale, Noah. Yes, that's the exact scale of those cars. Yes, 1/64 scale. I love S scale. I'm an HO scaler. However, S scale is my favorite. And if I could get rid of it all and start over, I would totally go to S scale. And that is the God's honest truth. I love S scale. You've got lots of HO. Yes, same here, Noah. I've been collecting HO almost my entire life. However, I've been a model railroader for over almost 39 years. Yeah, make a functioning rotary. Yeah, you could probably do it. You just have to design it. And there's all kinds of designing software. So, I mean, just, go follow Alien Destination right there, 3D printing. That guy is the whip when it comes to his tutorials and his sculpting programs. Go check him out. You won't be disappointed. I assure you. He is the main person that made me decide what program to use and where I wanted to accelerate my 3D printing experiences. That person right there. Yep. The one and only Alien Destination. That's right. So yeah, go give him some help and some support, I should say. Go give him some support and go check it out. It will really open up some new avenues if you want to get into any kind of designing and 3D printing. Yep. So, how is everybody doing? Oh, thanks for the follow there, Noah. I appreciate that. Thanks for the share, Dave. Appreciate that very much. So Maya says, Mia or Maya? Looks like a Maya, M-I-Y-A, Maya. My plan is to use gears and a lever to operate it so it won't rely on wiring and whatnot. Yes, exactly. Yep. Gears and levers, absolutely. You could even have it where it's like rubber band or some type of spring return mechanism so that you use a lever, it's in the, say, down position. You pull the lever, it puts tension on the rubber band, dumps it, and then when you release it, it brings it back to its original hold position. Rubber bands would be good for that. Spring, steel, any kind of elastic type material. Springs would be good. Rubber bands probably would be good. Even like micro bungee cord, like you find in like tent poles. Okay, the micro stuff. Anything with elasticity that would last long, where you don't have to change the rubber bands out often. That would be a good media to use for that springiness, the return. So. I'm going to scroll here for just a second. I'm going to try and catch up on some of these messages. Thank you so much for coming in. You're totally welcome there, Alien. And I mean that too. I really sincerely thank you for helping me, guide me ever since I got the program. I've only had it since December. And you've taught me a whole lot, and it really means a lot, to have a community, a network where I can go to for help. So yeah, thanks again. I do appreciate it. And thanks for popping in. I don't normally see you in my room. Here and there, you do it sometimes. But hopefully you'll become a regular. And, as we get to know each other more, we can... definitely converse a little bit more on different subjects. So yeah, I love meeting new people, making new friends, and I call it networking. Okay, I love to network with other people that have similar interests. It's a lot of fun. I'm just pausing here real quick. It says here, invite Dave to join as a guest. No. You're not allowed. You're not allowed, Dave. That's funny. Oh, thanks, Irene. I appreciate that so much. I love doing miniature details, like the really super tiny fine stuff. We're talking, let's see, here's some cinder blocks, there's some tools and some gears and all kinds of junk and rubbish and trash. There's some more tools over there. And just to give you the scope of some of the details that I love to do, okay, I'm going to place a penny next to some of those details. See that? Yeah. So yeah, I love doing the detail work. That's just a, yeah. Irene says, oh no. Oh, thanks, Irene. I appreciate that. So yeah, there's all kinds of tiny little. Let me grab my pointer here. I have a pointer stick that I use to help point things out. Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna turn this up a little bit. There we go. Let's get some good music going here. Yeah, so here you can see there's good old Abe Lincoln. That's a picnic table. There's little drinks and plates and all kinds of stuff. This was a cast piece that I put onto a picnic table. And then there's a little broom and there's some tools over there. This is a little kit that I got that I modified. This trailer is completely scratch built out of the scrap box with details and stuff. This engine over here, it does run. That is completely scratch built upper structure, but the lower structure is from a vintage company. I'm not going to say what company, but it does begin with an L and ends in L. Okay, yes, they did HO scale a while back. So yes, I love doing the little details. Check this out. A little bucket with a handle right there and a little wrench. There's an axe and shovels. Yeah, there's all kinds of fun little details here. I paint a lot of my own people. Even when I get people that are already painted, I do modify them sometimes. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that. Organic Man Seeds. I appreciate that. Speaking of organic seeds, 420. Look at that. That's funny. And that was not intentional. There was actually a number 420 DTI locomotive that ran from here in Michigan down to Ohio and into parts of Kentucky, I'm finding out now, just across the border into Kentucky. Thanks for the share, Lalo Saleh? Yeah. Ohio. Thanks for the share. I appreciate that very much. So welcome in, everybody. My name is Steve, and you are watching the Sierra Valley and Harbor Junction HO scale model railroad. No, movie studios do not knock on my door. That is a huge compliment. I do like that. I'm interested in doing miniatures, but I've never pursued it as a career. This is just fun stuff, I doubt it. There's so many awesome, talented modelers out there, way better than what I could do. I have fun. I get creative. I use a lot of different medias and materials for my painting and, sculpting, like here's an example. Those mountains back there, that's all hand painted, hand sculpted. I do a lot of, I work with a lot of, wall mud, wall spackling. Some people call it plaster, okay? I use a lot of plaster for textures. Okay, you can see the various textures I get with wall mud. You get these little swipes. Check that out. It's really neat. You get a lot of really neat textures in there. And then I hit it with highlights. I use Sharpie markers and Sharpie pens to accent the rock work and the detail around the different colors and the swatches that I do. But this mountain here is about the best one that shows the intricate detail. I painted this one in a day. This area back here, that was all done in a day. That's just on a backdrop of kind of like a masonite. It's a thin board. Let me dismount from my tripod because it kind of gets in the way. And I'll come right back to it. There we go. Okay. Yes. So we are off the tripod. There we go. Let me move this light out of the way too here. Yeah, I have a light that's kind of in the way. All right. So as you can see, this is all a painted, hand-painted backdrop. I did my own mountains. This over here, it's not defined yet. I don't have the Sharpie lines, drawn in. I don't have the heavy definition like some of this other. See the definition I'm talking about? That is all Sharpie, black Sharpie over top of grays and tans and browns, okay? And then I hit it with highlights of white, and I just barely skim the top of the plaster peaks, okay? And it's textured. Let me see if I can... See, I can touch that right there, and I don't know if I could do a close-up of the texture. Let me see here. See how it's all textured and raised? See that? Okay. The white paint will highlight the textures and give you those shadows and peaks. Is that gold? Actually, it's funny you say that. This is silver over here. This is real silver in my silver mine. See that? That's real silver ore right there. See the little nugget right there? That's silver. That's silver. My little hoppers are filled with silver. I have a large piece right here. I actually went to Colorado and I mined this out of a quarry. I brought home, gosh, 35 something pounds on the airplane. It was really funny too, because they opened my bags and they investigated of what it was, and it was kind of funny. So yeah, actually, good observation, but no, that is not gold; it's silver. So. Oh, thanks for the follow, Tiki. I appreciate that very much. So as you can see, I'm still working on the mountain areas over here. This is unfinished. This is just a calendar cutout that I'm going to use as inspiration to finish painting all of this. It's going to be that shape, but not the same colors, okay? More like those colors there, probably. So that's going to be like off in the distance. I'll have the trees and all that fun stuff. And then over here is, part of my my silver mining town type of thing. This piece here is already glued on the wall, but you can see I have not drawn any of the details yet. Oh, thanks, Bose. I appreciate that. I haven't drawn any details yet here. You can see some of the highlights have been in, some highlights here. I started painting some of the background trees to, kind of blend in with the foreground trees, and it works out really well. You can see these trees are already painted on, and it blends in with the real trees up front. The river is all painted on, the waterfall is painted, but then it becomes third dimensional when it gets to this point, and then it drops down. So it's hard to detect, certain elements when you're, like angles and such. But when you're up close like this, you can see I just ruined the illusion for you. You can see right there, I'm just touching it. You can see the shadow. That's just all paint. You can see the rock work that I drew on around. So it works out really good. Is this based on a place? Well, I draw inspiration from many different... Up close, Irene says. I drew inspiration for this all over the place, like, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, that type of thing. So I get inspiration from, the west, maybe a little southwest with the mesas over here. This is not finished yet. This area here I'm going to redo so that it's a little more gradually sloped. And then it'll be a little bit more believable to transition over here into the harbor, okay? So yeah, there's all kinds of fun stuff that I've been working on here. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate that very much. User ending in 5155. So Irene says up close. Okay, I'll do one more up close for you. You can see some of the rock work in